Deepak Chopra once said, "There are no extra pieces in the universe. Everyone is here because he or she has a place to fill, and every piece must fit itself into the big jigsaw puzzle." Now, thinking on this quote, remember being a child and being given a jigsaw puzzle to complete? Remember the great joy that you felt when you actually saw it completed? Maybe it ended up something like this, something beautiful for the eye to admire. Well, what if I told you that our lives are just like those pieces, and that without those pieces, our world would be a complete disaster? Well, DNA has been a part of our lives as humans since the beginning of time, and it has had a huge impact on us. Based on my own research, I can prove to you that DNA can be compared to those pieces, and that it has had 3 major effects on humans. These are the effect on our person, the effect on society, and the effect on future research. Now, they play a vital role in our lives, and it is important that we understand each and every one of them. So let's talk about the first one, the effect on our person. Well, what is the formula to the DNA? It has 4 ingredients. It has adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. With these 4, we can make up or form people. So let's say you have brown hair. That's where it comes from that DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid. Now, according to Anna Sui, a genealogist researcher for over 9 years, she says that we have 50-50 genes from our parents. So what does that mean? Well, that 50% is from our mom and 50% from our dad. So let's say you are holding a newborn baby and you see that it has its mother's eyes, its big eyes. Well, that 50 is part of those eyes. So that percentage is the amount he or she grabs from that particular parent. Now, another of those traits are skin color, which leads me to my second point, the effect that DNA has had on society. Well, it is fully known that most people judge others based on their outer appearance or their skin color. Whether positive or negative, most people do. And something interesting to know is that the Human Genome Research Institute states that 99% of human DNA is the same. It is only that 1% that is different. That 1% is what differentiates me and you. So what does that mean? That 99% of me is the same as you, and you over there. It is that 1% that makes us different from each other. Now, scientists for many years have been trying to attempt to answer all the questions known to man. Now, one of those questions leads me to my third point, which is the effect on future research. Scientists nowadays have swallowed their words. According to John Mattick, the director of the Institute of Molecular Bioscience, states, and I quote, "This may well go down as one of the biggest mistakes in the history of molecular biology." What is that mistake? Well, that many scientists have believed that junk DNA is part that doesn't work. So, a part of our DNA, according to them, has no particular effect on us. So we can live without that part of our DNA. Now, but what are they saying now? Well, they're saying that it actually does have an effect, that it has a purpose, and that is to help the RNA, the ribonucleic acid, which helps us keep living. So that is a huge advancement that we have had because of research. Another key point is how DNA has affected in the law enforcement. Due to DNA in the law enforcement, we are able to lock up culprits of people that have caused crimes and taken out innocent. Although we are still working on it, it has vastly improved for communities to become even better communities. Now that our understanding is much more in depth, we can surely see how it is important that we know how DNA has affected our lives. To conclude, we know that DNA has existed forever and will continue to exist, and be a part of our lives. Now, these pieces to our DNA, when connected, have the power to form the people who we are and who we will continue to be throughout time. It has had 3 major effects from the beginning of time to today: the effect on our own person, the effect on society, and the effect on future research. When these pieces to the puzzle piece intertwine, they complete the picture. They make a perfect picture like this one. And now every time that we look in the mirror, or we look at a loved one, or we look at a perfectly newborn baby, we can see that we are who we are because of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid.